Amazing. Amazing. All of that talking, all of that praying, and I wasn't even on video. Can you hear me now, Elizabeth? Isn't that something? Oh, can you hear me, Elizabeth, now? Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I was supposed to click a button that'll bring me on. I didn't even, now I oh man, Elizabeth, what would I do without you, man? Thank you for I forgot to click this button. I had forgotten to click this button. And I did all of that. I was praying, and talking and oh well. But thanks, sister. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, creator, for the sister sharing and letting me know there was my video, the problem I had with it. And I won't repeat the prayer that I had where I basically was asking you to help us to use my channel to let my brother know the power that we have and talking about the difference between the faithists and those who are proactive and those who are not. And we live in a reality. The problem with things like what just happened there, it don't surprise me. I think that there is forces at work that not only with myself, but actively work against brethren to keep this message, to keep it to set stumbling blocks before it. But that's all right. I don't get phased anymore. The creator, one way or another, is going to allow this message to go out. I guess I could summarize what I was talking about and basically just saying that talking about the resurrection and talking about the event of January 25th, where I'm praying, hoping that it could be Cosmin Day. January 25th, there's an event, a cosmological event, where the planets line up. Let me see. I guess I could bring that up on screen and show that while I'm talking about it. January 25th, rare cosmological alignment. So whether you brethren, I don't know if you brethren have heard about it. This is it right here. A planetary alignment, also known as a planetary parade, starting on January 21st. 6 planets, Venus, Mars. January 21st. I think I said 25th. So January 21st, 6 planets will line up, and it's a rare celeste. It's a rare, here it says, rare planetary alignment. Now, I know that faithists, that we are really looking forward to Cosmin Day. For some reason, it seems the creator is putting that on my spirit. We've been doing the soul confirmations in preparation for a big change. And this is how, from the best I can know, is how we prepare ourselves. We got to prepare. It makes sense to me because we live in a reality where people ain't going to budge. Spiritually, people don't buy spiritual truth hardly anymore, and meaning that will give them a good reason to move, to make a change. Again, I refer back to a sister. She was telling me about Pluto going into Aquarius, and I asked her what it meant. She said she don't know. Or actually, she said people are going to have to move. They're going to have to move. And I asked her what it meant. She said she didn't know. And I came to find out later on that people were going to have to move. They're just going to have to move, man. And not everybody is going to be able to move. Man, can't thank you enough, Elizabeth. I would have went on and on and on. I would not have been broadcasting. Man, I really thank you for helping me like that. Creator bless you. Creator bless you. I really appreciate that. Oh, I got to get better, man. But most people, well, I just want you brethren to know that I really pray, man, that boy, I pray I'm redundant and really emphasize a couple of things. The Creator, he called on us to get ourselves ready, to make ourselves ready. Some brethren, they've been running this thing for ever since the Oahspe came out in the 1860s. They've been running that long. And the Creator, I think the Bible, again, it tells you a lot of truth. It tells you a lot of truth. I don't think you should throw it away. I believe that it's problematic. If a faith just don't translate it for you, it's hugely problematic. If a faith just don't translate that word for the world, I think you got a problem. So I think that the Oahspe, the Creator, he don't just call on us, he calling us to be proactive and to make ourselves ready. You know, I read in Radiance anthology, I read in the Oahspe where the Creator, he talks about things that we can do and basically to prepare our mind, our heart, and our soul for this time that we're in right now. Now, you call me kooky you want, but I know there's an event that the Creator, he said that even if faith is, we don't know what day it is. You know, he did command us to commemorate it in advance of it coming, but the commemoration doesn't fall on the actual day. I'm talking about Cosmin Day. Cosmin Day, brethren, that's a day when, matter of fact, let me show you. Let me see if I can go to my room real quick. Here's my room. Got a room, my mom food ministry, and I really got this up to try to link up with brethren who may have something going. You know, some other faithless brethren, somewhere in the world, you know, you're ministering to orphans, disabled, and elderly. And I want to put myself out there. I'm with you to help out. If you can get in contact with me and you're trying to work it, I'll work it with you. You know, you contact me. That's my contact information. And then my brother, he's got a room. Brother Omian, he's got a room where you can come if you're new to the program. You can go to Facebook. Here's one of his rooms. Here's another one of his rooms where you can go copy and paste it and put it on Facebook and join that room and get fellowship. Have a little, where we like to post from the Oahspe. Make sure I'm still broadcasting here. My screen messing up on me. Let's see. Yep, it says I am. Okay, good enough. So here's another room where if you're interested, anyone who's new to this video, you see this video. See, let me say this real quick because it comes to my mind. The thing I love, the Creator, I'm really seems to be putting on my spirit to help me to endure and to keep going. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I really need much of that because I can't live without sharing these videos. But I think that the Creator, he likes to give me more than I need. And he tells me that not only videos like mine, but videos like my brethren in the description area, our videos are going to blow up. These videos will be by far the most known videos on the planet, and faith fellowships wherever they are, by far, no doubt whatsoever. Creator, he letting us fly under the radar so he can prove to the world that you don't look for him. You will not look for him. Yet you got these brethren here, my brethren here, they've been witnessing to you. It's just like it says in the Bible. We have trumpeted to you. You know what? I ain't gonna forget what I'm doing here. Okay. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Cosmin Day. Let me bring this one up too, because I like this one. We have sang unto you, we have danced unto you, King James Version. This is one of the things about the Bible I really like. These little verses right here that help explain our reality. We have, matter of fact, let's look at the look at the chapter here so we can get a good context. And it says, this is the Jesus of the New Testament talking. And up here in verse 8, now verse 16, 17 is what I want, but I want to, this is the world for you. Here, Jesus of the New Testament, he says, but what went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Because see, up here, they're starting to question him. Who are you? Where you come from? Why are you doing all these things you're doing, And then he's answering them. Then verse 9, he says, but what went ye out to see? Verse 10 says, for this is he whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before thy face. See, they didn't know who he was until he started doing miracles. Same thing with us, Verse 12, from the days of John the Baptist till now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. And that's where we live now, too. That's another good description of our reality. Verse 13, for all the prophets and the law prophesied until John, meaning their sight was only until John, the prophets of old. He says, and if you will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come, talking about himself. He who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Now, verse 16, 17 is what I want to get to. It's talking about our generation and you brethren, if there are any brethren, and you're doing videos as well, and you're you're a creator, you get on video and your ministry is that sort of thing. And not saying that we're the only ones, but any brother who is proactive in trying to share this word. Verse 16, this is where you brethren, this situation we're in. Verse 16, but whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, talking about faith this, you faith this. And it says, hey, Yaffa, how you doing? I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better. Do you have a testimony? Has the Creator given you a testimony about how you feel better now? Verse 17, it says, and saying, we have piped unto you, you have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and you have not lamented. And that's exactly the reality where we are at right now, brethren. Just to let you know, we are there. So don't be discouraged, you brethren any of you brethren who are creators and you're sharing, you're being proactive, you're sharing the Creator and not trying to proselytize people, but at least the Creator is using you, letting you know that these videos and these types of ministries where you're out front, you can be seen. The Creator is going to use the Creator is right. It's interesting. I'm talking about this, and then here's a verse right here that deals with how the Creator is using America, and so I'm talking about what the Creator, these videos we're doing, brethren are doing. No one pays attention to them. They don't have any weight. They don't, you know what I mean? And it's just like the world to overlook it, because I ain't sitting up here talking about the stock market tip and how this stock is going to fall, and this stock is due to hit, and it just don't gain. It ain't sexy enough. I don't get on here and talk about controversy and getting off on somebody who's got it rough and they're in trouble and they're well known, and you can get off on their troubles and that sort of thing. This, if you don't talk about, if you don't do stuff like that, then people ain't gonna really pay any attention, because that's human nature. We're a bunch of flesh eating people, in this world. And the Creator says, when you're like that, it's going to be hard on you to hear the light of his word. And that is exactly true. Now look at this verse up here I got in the room right here. About time for the soul confirmations. And so, brethren who are ministering this word, brethren in this description area, the Creator said, I'm going to start in North America. I'm going to start in North America. That's North Guatemala. Now, I'm trying to encourage anybody. And for you brethren who are considering doing videos and you want to talk about the Creator, and I highly encourage you. Man, I highly encourage you, man. You can do this yourself. The more we unite and we speak with one voice, then that's more power and force that we give to the angels and the organic realms and the Etherians to enforce their will in the world we live in. See, because things are spiritual and you can't see it, they're unseen. It don't carry no weight. That's a terrible thing, ain't it? People never learn till it's too late. See, the Creator, he say here in the Oahspe, he say North Guatemala, that's America. Basically, he's saying, I'm gonna start it right there in North America. I'm gonna start it. He's gonna start Cosmin in North America. You see that? To North Guatemala, because she is the ground on which the circumscribing of the earth by the different nations shall take place, where the revelations of heaven and earth shall be made to man. Now, if I understand this correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like Cosmic Day is coming here first. It's going to come here first. Now, I could be wrong. It sounds like Cosmic Day is coming to the West first. And then going to spread like wildfire over the world. You could start here in America. The Faithists in America, they get it started. Signs and wonders. And then the doors open then, and then it spreads all the other Faithists spread out all over the world. The Creator sound like he's saying he's going to start it here. See, North America. And so that's why I say these brethren, they do videos and they try to share. And I know they feel like sometimes they may feel like, what they doing, they're not, they may feel discouraged or like, they ain't reaching nobody or they're having no effect or anything like that. And I'm telling you, man, if there's one of you brethren listening, somebody anywhere in the world, you're proactive and you're out front and you're trying to be a light, don't be discouraged, man. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Matter of fact, that Bible verse comes to mind. It comes to mind. Y'all remember that Bible verse where it says, for ye know that your work is not in vain. King James Version. Boy, that goes for anybody too, man. Brother or sister, believing brother and sister. You may come under attack. Oh, man, this ain't about nothing. I ain't getting nowhere. I ain't really making no progress. I can't understand when is the kingdom? When are things going to change? See, you just being here is work because you showing a proclivity. You take a little time out of the day. You want to hear light up. You want to hear something from the Creator's light, even a little bit, because you want to build your found time for the soul confirmations. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. That goes for any brother. You don't have to be a content creator for this to be referring to you. You got work to do too. You got to work on yourself. You have to learn, pay attention to your soul, cultivate it so that we can get, you can't just sit back and do nothing and expect that, the Creator, he give the earth wild animals to let you know that you got to tame them. You got to do something. You just sit back, it'll swallow you up unless you do something. He teaching you something about the spiritual. See, the beast kingdom, it puts people to sleep. You sit there, and make the confession, I believe in my heart and, confess my mouth that Jesus is Lord. And that's it. That's it. That's what the beast kingdom tell you. That's it. You're home free, ain't got to do nothing else. That's the deception of the world. See, that's the deception of the world. And the whole world love it, man. I'm telling you, man, brethren, keep going. You just keep going. You keep working on yourself. You living in darkness. You living in a world of opposition, man. That's what makes the kingdom that much sweeter. You know what I mean? makes it sweet, man. You know, when you overcome it, you're putting on, you take, you know, time for the confirmation, soul confirmations. Time for the soul confirmations. We're at this part right here where it says all the forces, where it starts with all the forces. Let me see. Let me make sure. Is that where we left off? Let me see. I think, yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I am all alive with the energy. Nope, we did that. We did that. All right, Asenath. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me see. I will arouse. I think that we did that. So we're at we did every particle. So we're at the part where it says all the forces of my being. All the forces of my being. That's our soul confirmation for today. All the forces of my being. Now, see, anyone new to the room, just read this right here. See that? What I got on the screen now? Read that. Don't really have time to go into it. Oh, wait a minute. Yappa said we did that one. Okay, let me look back over here. So where are we? She said we did all the forces. So that would mean we are at the intelligence of my soul. All right, Amorous. All right. I got all these sisters. Okay, so we must be at the intelligence of my soul. Okay. Let me see. Did we do that one? All the forces of my being. Well, shoot, let's just do them both. Make sure then, you know, there ain't no law against it, you know. Now, if there's anyone in the room who is new, you don't know what we're doing. I can't go into it right now. I try to give you a thumbnail sketch. The Oahspe teaches about a vortex, and that's what the creator uses to get. It's something from nothing, man, you know. And that's what the creator uses to bring. He uses a vortex to bring the elements together to bring creation into effect. A vortex. And this is one of the ways we create in a vortex. We doing it together. We create a force that will go out. The angels will use it. They will multiply it and give it manifestation. And we also do it within ourselves. We create a vortex in ourselves. So anyone new, read this part here I got on the screen. Stop the video, read this. And there's another part that goes before this. I don't have it up on the screen. But this will be enough to get you up to speed. So you read this, and it'll give you an idea about why we doing what we doing. Okay. Now, I like to categorize all this like this is us. We putting our soul together. We putting our soul together. See, it's like the angel, you know. See, faithists, they know this type of thing. You know, we know that when we cross over, you know, our ashars, you know, they hand us over. You know, we do our 3 days praying and singing anthems by our body. And then the ashars come get us. We meet our paradars, our other half. And they, you know, the ashars hand us over to the ASAFs. The ASAFs check us in. They look at our records. They say, okay, you made it. Good job. You know, now I'm going to go ahead and situate you. You know, Monday, you start going to school. And then from there on, you're going to start your spiritual journey to becoming gods and goddesses. All right. Good to see you, man. You made it. You made it off the earth. All right. See? And then he looked at our records. He said, all right, let me see what you did for your soul. And then he said, oh, wait, oh, wow. Yeah. Let me see. You added this to your soul. You added that to your soul. You added this to your soul. You added that. Oh, man, look at all this stuff you added to your soul. Look at all this power you got. You added all this to your soul. You know, see, now, I'm not trying to sound kooky. You know what I mean, brethren? The creator, he telling us to do this together. See, he also said, go make yourself. See, you got to put it together, man. All this is us making ourselves. And I got more for you. I got way more for you. See? We making ourselves, brethren. You got to believe it, man. All us brothers got to get on board with this. We got to all do it together. We got to do it, man. Now let's do these two together because I forget where we left off. We're going to do these two together. All the forces and the intelligence of my soul. Okay? Because I forgot where we left off exactly. We ain't going to miss one soul confirmation. We ain't missing one. Because they're going to register this in spiritual to be added. And it's already going to be added unto us. See, this is us telling our soul what to do. So we're going to do it together. We're going to say it 3 times together on 3. Now that it create a vortex in ourself and in the world. And the angels register it. And it gets added to as part of us making ourself. You see? You see what I mean? Like you get a brother, sister, you know, the angel says, what happened? You didn't do any, you know, he said, go make yourself, but I don't see any place here where you made yourself. Did you do the soul confirmations? What is that? I never heard of it. The soul confirmation. What do you mean? And so that was your opportunity to make up yourself, to make up your power. You mean you ain't got none here? You ain't never did it? You never heard about it? You never went to Yaikov's video? Oh man, you really put me in the jam. How am I supposed to help you? You got to start off here now and learn this. See, now I'm not trying to. I'm trying to give you a picture how important it is to redeem the time, brethren. I'm just trying to give you a picture of how important it is to redeem the time, man. You know. All right, we're gonna say it 3 times together on 3. We're gonna start at all the forces. Let's start at all the forces. We're gonna end at the intelligence of my soul. I mean, we're going to do both of these because I forget where we left off exactly. So we're going to just do both of them then. All right. Start at all the forces. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All the forces of my being are becoming responsive to the living creative will of my soul. The intelligence of my soul rules every organ in my body. All right. Again, 1, 2, 3. All the forces of my being are becoming responsive to the living creative will of my soul. The intelligence of my soul rules every organ in my body. All right. Again, 1, 2, 3. All the forces of my being are becoming responsive to the living creative will of my soul. The intelligence of my soul rules every organ in my body. All right, that's it right there. That's the soul confirmation for today. And Creator, I pray that you infuse these things in our soul, our spirit, our mind, body, and soul, and that you would apply it to us, and that we would make ourselves because of these soul confirmations, and also create a vortex in the world. Pray, thank you for giving us the understanding about how we can prepare ourselves for hopefully the Cosmic Day. Hopefully it'll be January 25th or 24th or 1st or 25th. Pray, hopefully, Creator, that's the beginning of Cosmic Day. We're power from on high. But thank you for these soul confirmations and the opportunity to we can apply this to our spiritual half and realize these things when we're born in the spirit. Also now too. So thank you, Creator. All right. So, brethren, I'm going to go to my room right quick and then just share some things that I have, I like to read and share in my room. And now, this verse again, I thought it was interesting because it sounded to me that the Creator is saying that I'm going to start it in North America. See, I'm going to start it in North America. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, man. This verse right here, see, it it appears that the inspiration is shared with me that I want to make my channel a channel of hope. I want to give you something to look forward to. And I'm in the process of asking the creator every time I come on, let me say something to give brethren hope, to give them something to look forward to, not a bunch of learning and where it just stagnate you, but we need something to look forward to. We need to look in the future so that we can keep going with force, purpose, you know. You need to look, a bride don't want to be engaged forever. You know what I mean? And really, we are bride and bridegrooms, and we don't want to be engaged. You don't, a bride, how would, she wouldn't like it, man, if her, the guy said, honey, let's go ahead and get married. And 30 years from now, I'm going to, let's get married. That ain't going to fly, man. Same way with the faith is really, I mean, let's be real. We realize that we've been separated, that we got this anointing on us. It helped us to stay out of the beast kingdom, to know what the past, present, and future is according to the spiritual, what's going to happen to us when we cross, when we cross over. We know about first, second, third resurrection, the Ethereans. We know from here on out because the creator revealed it to us. You don't want to be waiting forever, to realize these things, the glory of even the first resurrection, second resurrection, third resurrection, how this life is only this ain't even real life. You see, Creator said our life hasn't really even begun. So you don't want somebody, hanging on, not, 1,000 years from now, these things are going to manifest. I know the Creator, he know that the children want to know when, how soon, how much longer, there's even something in the Bible to say the same thing. Have you ever seen that? It might apply. I don't know. Let's look at it real quick. Let's check it out real quick. Let's check it out real quick. How long, O Lord, faithful and true? Now, this might not apply to us. I don't think it does now that I look at it. This talks about the avenging of blood. And I pointed to it because they were asking, when was their time basically going to come? Now, here it was for the purpose of avenging of blood, so I shouldn't have even brought this out, really. I was just trying to point out they were questioning how long, oh Lord, basically till our time comes. We want our time to come, man. We want our time to come. I know that we do. And the Creator, you got to know that too. When is our time? We, I know that those brethren have been waiting a long time. When is our time going to come? At least that's my prayer before the Creator, that I want to give to y'all. I want to try to share with y'all. Now, January 25th, January 21st, it's a rare cosmological event. And it seems to signify something. Now, more often than not, nothing comes to pass. But it still doesn't mean you can't hope. And so we have to look at it. And the confluence of events is amazing. New president, and I have been listening to astrologers, and they have been saying a new era is at hand. And it's hard for me to buy it, because it may be true, and we will see. It gives you something to look forward to. And so I want to try to, if pray that the Creator, he'll give me to where I can share with y'all something to look forward to. We need to be able to look forward to something, and I don't mean like the 2049 harvest, that's way off in my mind too, even though it is like what, 23, 22 years away, it seems like in the blink of an eye, that time is up. But about where we are right now, because there's a flavor in the air. There's like a tension in the air. It's like a banjo string where there are so many things that are happening. I could talk to y'all about AI. That's a sign. I mean, it's like every 6 months, man, it doubles or triples AI. You know, they got cars that can fly now. They got like all kind. They got like foldable homes. You take the daggone thing, you put it out in the woods somewhere, you hit a button, and do you know that thing folds out into, I mean, a nice looking home? Crazy stuff like that. See, that's a sign. That's Ethereum to me, that is, I mean, that's I don't know how to describe it. Because I think that faith, ingenuity, and intelligence is going to make all of that I'm talking to you about right now like it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing at all. I think I'm telling you, you read the Oahspe, you read what we were looking at, the soul confirmations. Look at that, man. Look at the power that's talking about. AI has got nothing on this type of stuff here. See? Looking at the screen. Look at this stuff here. This is power that we don't know. See, Cosmic Era, it may be the manifestation of all these things. You know that? I could be wrong. You know what I mean? My soul will enable me to transcend all my personal limitations and become superior to the fallacies and fears of mortals. You know what I'm saying? Can you dream about it? Can you, brethren, dream? Do you know how to dream? Creator said do it. Look at all this stuff here, man. This is power on another level. We don't even know what this stuff here, the world is talking about flying saucers and being able to, have a personal robot, to do housework. We look at what we talking about though. See, my soul sits in silent majesty within the secret place of power. We got power. Do you know we are awakening our power. This is us. We awakening our power. See, the creator within us. You can't put no limit on that. Now do you see why I'm crazy about knowing when Cosmic Day is? That's power from on high. Cosmic Day. The angels and mortals, that's us getting together. Did y'all know that? Cosmic Day is angels and mortals getting together. Reunion! See? AI. What about when we walking around putting an end to the medical profession? Striking disease down. Striking poverty down. And who knows, and God knows how much more. See? We want that power. That's our kingdom. And the world can't have it. Creator, he don't give, remember? You remember the scripture? It is not, okay, I don't want to sound harsh, but I'm going to say it. Y'all remember the scripture? It's not right to give the children's bread unto the dogs. You see? That's see, it's not right to take the children's bread and give it to the dogs. See, what's the children's bread? That's the children's bread right there. the knowledge of our soul, the inheritance, the regaining of our soul power. See? See there? My brain is vibrating with the thoughts and feelings of my soul. My soul is vibrating its visions to my conscious. I don't know what this stuff means. It sounds like power to me, though. While I sleep, my soul will dissolve the cause of war disease from my subconscious nature and restore these parts to health and peace. You see that? That's power for your behind. See, that's our power. See? See? You don't see the world in here doing these confirmations. They don't care about it. You know? It's not right to give the children's bread to the dogs anyway. I don't mean to sound harsh. See? You know, the creator, he's logical. Why would he turn around and give you the children's bread? The children, they exercise faith. They come in sincerity and truth. And the children believe the creator. They believe him, man. They pray to it. They meditate. They believe that they do that stuff on their own. They don't got to be out front. See, it ain't right to give the children's bread to the dogs. Now, that sounds a bit rough, and I don't, you know what I mean? I see where it's coming from. Go back to my room, see if I can do a couple of verses before the time of the reading. We looked at this a little earlier where it talked about North America. It seemed like the creator said North America is where he kicks things off. I got the verse highlighted here. Look at another one. Okay. I'll talk about that before I get into the reading. Oh, here's something I did on Cosmic Day. I asked AI. It seemed like the creator, he really put it on my spirit, now to talk about that. And I imagine it's to prepare us for the reality of something of this day. Because in the Oahspe, it says, as of yet, we're told to commemorate it, but we still don't know when that day is. We're supposed to commemorate it in the sense like you want to commemorate it to say, it's like saying, this is going to happen. This day is coming. This day is coming. This day is coming. We just don't know when. We just don't know when. See, we know we close because we're in a sub-cycle before the harvest. We know Pluto has gone into Aquarius. That means a whole new era. That's a whole new era, and Pluto has gone into Aquarius to stay. So it's going to work its magic. And already AI, which is a sign of artificial technology, that's a sign of how far along we are coming. It's like artificial technology, every 6 months, it advances. It like doubles. You know what I mean? Here's something from I asked AI. I said, will men rejoice on Cosmic Day? I asked the computer. It said, yes, men shall indeed rejoice. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think, what makes you rejoice? You know what I mean? It make me rejoice whenever I see Nazarene Essene TV come in. Brother, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Will men rejoice on Cosmic Day? See? What do you think, man? See, our day is coming. Brethren, don't you know our day is coming? See? You got something to look forward to. Our day is coming. Our day is coming. That's why I found myself every now and then. I found my now I find myself every now and then taking in a sports game where I used to. I mean, I really used to be a big sports fan back about 30 or 40 years ago, and then I stopped altogether. Stopped. But now every now and then I take in a game on the TV. Watch the team out here because I like to. What I do now, I like it. I like to see a team. You know, I like to see they. It's like a little bit of the kingdom of light. You know, if you look at a team like a pro team, I think they talk to like sports psychologists, and the psychologists tell them things like always be positive, always lift one another up. Don't be negative. Even if a guy he makes, don't beat him down. Always bring you, always see. That remind me of the faith this community. The creator, he wants us to be that same way towards each other. And then when they win, they jump up and down, they get excited. When a guy makes a good play, everybody, you know what I mean? See, that shows me a little bit of the kingdom of light. See, when our time is coming, brethren. Your time, brethren, we in the lowest place. We on the earth right now. But do you know our time is coming? Do you think like that? See, we ain't got to keep looking at the earth. We don't got to keep looking at this place. We can use it to redeem the time. You, brother, use the earth to redeem it. Use it, man. Use it. Get all you can get out of it. The creator say, do it now. Why? You got the body, you got an anchor. All right, how do we do it? Soul confirmations, one. Speak to your soul. That's the creator you talking to. You're a co-creator. Take advantage of the time. Let's take advantage of it. Good works, change our mind, how we can be a servant, See? The creator, he said that, you know what I mean? It's going to take the world hundreds of years. They don't know. They can't see the creator. They don't have no clue of what's going on right now with the body and the earth. We in the womb. The scripture says, yes, men shall indeed rejoice on Cosmic Day. See, you got something to look forward to, brother. Y'all don't forget that. See? Men shall indeed see. That's why I like to look at them sports games. Sometimes I'm still not into it. You know what I mean? But I like to see them. I like to see the team that wins and how they act. You know what I mean? Because that's you, brethren. See, that's us. When we get the victory, brother, do you know that's going to be you, brethren? That's going to be, the celebrating that goes on. That's going to be us, us and the angels. Because we're going to be reunified. That's Cosmic Day. We going to be reunified. You think there ain't going to be no shouting going on? Are you crazy? I would not be around Yaquab Israel when that day comes because you might get hurt. Because I'm a flip out, right? I would not get near me. I remember one time I got so happy one time. And this is a true story. I remember one time I got so happy, and the brother, he said something. I don't know what he told me, right? Now, I was in a church at this time. I was in a cult, right? But then he came and he told me something. I can't remember what it was he told me. Now, he made me so happy. And then he went to shake my hand like back when I was Curtis. He said, Kurt, congratulations. And I was so happy. And I shook his hand and I broke his little finger. I broke it. Right? See? So if you get around me, and I'm happy, I'm flipping out like that. That could be dangerous. You know what I mean? For people who look for our time, man, and it come, don't get around them people who they're gonna start swinging their arms, they're gonna start kicking, they're gonna look for somebody to hug. you know, our time is coming, brother. Look here. It says the text describes that Jehovah has set aside certain days where large congregations, where mortals and angels may meet in reunion for happiness and the glory of the Creator's works. The tone suggests a celebration as it emphasizes joy and communion spirit in worship and recognition of divine presence. We got to know, it's going to be evident the Creator is here. Cosmic Day is referenced as a special holy day, indicating that it holds substantial significance associated with rejoicing and commemoration for the faithless. See there? You made it. You overcame the world in faith. Cosmic Day comes, and it's no longer any more looking back, man. We won the victory. We won it. We kept faith. The world said we're kooky. We don't know what we're talking about. You're strange. You're stupid. They couldn't see the Creator. We were begging them to see the Creator. They wouldn't do it. The door had to be shut, and the faithists went in and started celebrating. Time for the reading of the word. So, brethren, we got something to look forward to. So here's some more verses. Let me just scroll some more verses real quick. You stop the video. You can look at them if you want. So let me scroll these real quick. Time for the reading of the word. So now, reading of the word is going to go. I'm going to go to the Oahspe and read the Arkaban, chapter 10. Arkaban, chapter 10. Now, let me go back up and see what chapter 9 and the Arkaban, what it is talking about, so we can get a little jump on the context. So it says, what is chapter 9 of the book of Arkaban about? It says, chapter 9 of the book Arkaban primarily focuses on the role of the god Capelia and his interactions with the king and royal council. This chapter depicts a moment when the king and his council recognized the wisdom of Capelia, leading to discussions about the past actions of their forefathers, who established their power through bloodshed, tyranny. The chapter explores themes of leadership, the change from violent rule to peace, and the acceptance of doctrines that promote liberty and peace. And then the significant points include the king reflecting on the past devastation caused by their ancestors and questioning the morality of continuing such tyranny, Capelia's encouragement towards peace, and his mission to teach and gather the faithless under a new understanding of righteousness and good works. The chapter stresses the importance of supportive leadership that fosters peace than one that relies on force and bloodshed, hinting at a transformative era where wisdom, good works, and righteousness are prioritized over violence and oppression. See, that's Cosmic era too. These themes indicate a pivotal moment in spiritual and social evolution within the narrative of Arkaban. Capelia's wisdom leads to a fundamental shift in values for the people. So it's Capelia against the tyrants of the world. So let's go ahead and the reading of the word. And did I click off on it? I probably did, knowing me. Arkaban. Let me see. Did I click off of it? I had it up on the screen. Then I must have clicked off on it. So let's bring it up. Chapter 10, Arkaban. And so bear with me, brethren, because I clicked off of it. Let me see. I did. Clicked off on it. Let me try to get it back. All right. So let's get it back. Arkaban, chapter 10. All right. So basically, we have Coppelia against the kings and his wisdom towards his wisdom is he's basically showing them that the wisdom of their, they thought that the way to rule over men is through tyranny and bloodshed. Basically, Coppelia is showing them that that's not the way to go. And we're going to pick up in chapter 10 some more of his dealings with these kings, that really the kings of men. It's really the wisdom of the creator versus the wisdom of the kings of the world. Really sounds like that's what this chapter is about. So may the creator bless the reading of his word. Chapter 10, Ark of Bond. Jovi said to Coppelia, you shall remain with my chosen till they have learned rites and ceremonies, after which you shall go to another region where I will lead you and there teach the same things. In the same way, and Coppelia obeyed the commandments of the Great Spirit and all these things. In the 5th year of Coppelia's preaching, the voice of Jehovah came to him, saying, behold, your foster father is near death's door. Your foster father. That's interesting. Your foster father. Your foster father is near death's door. Go to him and have the law of protection established before his death. And when you are a king after his death, you shall ratify the law and then abdicate the throne. So the creator is telling him, go and tell him to make a law for the protection of the faithless before he dies. And then you're going to be made king. You're going to ratify it. And then you're going to give up the throne. It says, so Coppelia returned to Yokovrena, the king who was ill with fever. The king said, oh, my son, I feared I might die before my eyes could gaze upon you once again. A few days more and it will be over with. It will be over with. It will be over with me. You will be king. Think now what you ask of me while I may yet accomplish it. Coppelia said, call your royal council and pass a law guaranteeing Brahmins, the Zarathustrians who are faithless, the lands they have possessed and tilled are now and are now dwelling upon to be theirs forever. The king assented to this, and the law was so enacted. And this was the first law made by any king in all the world, granting land to the faithless to be their own. And the law stipulated that faithless could worship in their own way, nor could they be impressed into any army as soldiers of war. And I think the footnote says that this law is still going on today. Matter of fact, yeah, here it is right here. This law is still in existence in rural districts in India. It's still in effect today. So Coppelia says, make a law protecting the faithless. And it said the king ascended to this, and the law was so enacted. And this was the first law made by any king in all the world, granting land to the faithless to be their own. And the law stipulated that the faithless could worship in their own way, nor could they be impressed into any army as soldiers of war. It says, after the law was established, Radiance said to Capelia, I was wondering why you did not wait until you were king and then enact the law yourself, and it cannot be set aside during your lifetime. I will die soon, and the law will die with me. And Capelia answered, I shall ratify your law on the day I ascend to the throne, which is binding according to the rules of the ancients. Had I waited until I was king, then I would have been bound according to my religion, which is that no one individual possesses land except what he tills, and then only by donation from the community in which he dwells, and only during his lifetime, after which it reverts to the community. So he had the king do a law because it would last forever. Whereas with Capelia, if he waited until he became king, then oh no, wait a minute. I'm thinking. No, the difference is that by him having the king do it, it freed Capelia from having to make it freed Capelia from infringing on other peoples who were not Faitists. So he's saying that if he would have been king and he had enacted this law, he would have been bound by what he believed, and he would have had to infringe on the rights of people who are not Faitists. So he had the king do it, and then when he became king, he enacted it, and then he abdicated the throne so that the law would be ratified. So it says, Yokareda said, You are wise, O my son. What is it that you do not understand? After the king rested a while, he said, Capelia, you have often said that you have seen the angels of heaven. Who do you say they are? Capelia said, persons who once inhabited this earth. Some of them once lived on the stars. The king said, since you say so, it must be so. I thought sometimes they might be different beings that dwell in the air and never dwelt here. Do you say, Capelia, that all souls are immortal? Capelia said, they are born so in the life. Nevertheless, not all inherit eternal everlasting life. He said, even as the body goes into destruction, so can the spirit of a man dissolve out of being. See, somebody should listen to this. If someone is new, if you new to this channel and you seeing this, you should really think, because there are some people who you complain against the creator, man. You better be careful doing that type of stuff. You know, complaining about being born, you know, wishing against being, you could go into disillusion. See, you could, and see, you don't know what that is. See, people, you play with the creator, man. Look what Capelia says. The king asked him a question. He said, are all souls immortal? Capelia said, they are born so into life. He said, but nevertheless, not all inherit everlasting life. See, you brethren, that's what I'm saying. I like to say sometimes, man, you brethren are a miracle, man. You just a miracle to me because you found the creator. You found him, man. And I get the vibration that a lot of, and I'm talking about faithists, don't even care that much. You don't even care that much, man. It ain't no thing to you. It is no, you don't, you know what I mean? How can that be? I would like to know how that can be, man. It says, even as the body goes in captivity, it says, even as the body goes into destruction. It says, even as the body goes into destruction, so can the spirit of a man dissolve out of being. He said, the fruit of those who have attained the faith and everlasting life are safe. See, that's another thing. Do you, brethren, realize that you making the resurrection? You, brethren, are making the resurrection. Did that mean anything to you? Or do it not? It don't mean, it don't mean nothing to you that you making the resurrection. You got a whole world of people. They can't, do you know they can't find the creator? Do you think about that sometime? They can't find the creator. Forget prepare ye the way of the Lord. They can't find him. Oh man, maybe I'm just kooky. I don't know, man. I just can't get over it. I just can't do it, man. You know, I don't want to get over it. But for those who have fallen from faith in the everlasting life and from faith in the Creator, I pity them and their ears. The king said, why do oracles tell lies? They are the words of angels. Capella said, if a man will not think for himself, examine for himself, the Creator allows him to be the recipient of lies. See, the Creator ain't he don't, it's just like in the world. No man and no woman wants a dummy for a spouse. Now, again, I don't want to sound harsh. And it's true, man. You don't want a spouse who don't know how to tie their own shoe. I mean, for real. If you were to be for real, I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling the truth. Man or woman, Creator the same way. He the same. Look what he says here. He says, he want you to think for yourself. Examine for yourself. See? The Creator allows him to be recipient of lies. I mean, if a man will not think for himself and examine for himself, the Creator, he allows him to be a recipient of lies. And so sometimes, back when I used to argue for the faith, I don't do it no more. I won't do it. I won't argue for the faithists. I just ain't going to do it. Except if you sound like you want it, if your Creator put me in the situation, and they sound like they want it, I'll give it to them. I'll give it, but I won't initiate it anymore. And it's kind of a shame because I know a lot of people probably feel that, hey, that's fine with us. We ain't got to kiss your feet. We ain't got to bow down. We ain't got to say nothing. I remember that one debate I saw, Daryl Cosman. I love what he did to this day, man. They was pressing him. They was trying to get him to answer quickly, And then at one point he said, hey, I ain't got to say nothing. And man, I started clapping, man, and shaking my head. And it's the same way with us faithists. We don't got to say nothing to you. We can shut the light off from you. and you won't know how to find the creator. How do you like that? We want you to find him, you know, but we can just hold our peace. Brother said, "Hey, I ain't got to say nothing, man. I can hold my peace." See, he knew he was holding the cards. He knew he was holding the cards. I loved it, man. Same way with us. I ain't got to say nothing to you. You treat me like that. You talk to me like that. And I know the creator said we supposed to take it. I'll just hold my peace, man. You know, you want to treat me like that? All right, go ahead. I'll just hold my peace, man. If a man will not think for himself or examine for himself, the creator will allow him to be recipient of lies. He is a wise man who has attained a disbelief in angels and men, meaning he don't just trust people. A man who don't just take your word for it type of man. I happen to believe faithists are like that. If you can't resonate with them, they won't buy it. They just cannot buy it. They got a seed in them. It won't let them buy it, man. You know. Where then he will turn to the creator who is all true. It says that he is a wise man who has attained a disbelief in angels and men. Where then he will turn to the creator who is all truth. Meaning, in order to reach this type of brother, you got to come with the truth. To see, the brother will turn to that. He won't listen to angels or men. See, a lot of faith. I'm convinced that's the way faithists are. You can't come up BSing them, man, about the eternal, the spiritual. That'll never fly with them. It might for 1 second. But then it's going to grow old with them real fast. It says this is the beginning of wisdom. Some fair men with stunted souls, some fair men, good men, some good men with stunted souls. They're good men, but they have stunted souls who fail to look to doing good in the world, require a serpent fang in order to make them think. Well, it's like, some good men need the whip, You're a little short in good works, brother. It's time to break out the whip, a good crack on the behind, the serpent fang. Not only to get you on that course, but to get you to start thinking. See? Creator, he give us situations in life, the serpent's fang, so you'll learn to start thinking. Quit trying to, you always relying on somebody to tell you, give you the answer, point the way. Creator never said he wanted that, See, Yaffin says, I'm a slow learner, but so am I. I'm a slow learner. Me too. I am. I'm a slow learner too. But I learn though. See, that's the problem right there. And that just means that when you get it, you're more solid than anybody. You know what I mean? Slow learner. You're like a slow train coming, a slow learner. These type of people, when they get it, man, just get out of the way. You know what I mean? Because they done baked their cake and it's well done. See? That's a slow learner. When they get it, man, they're like a slow train. When it get up on you, you just have to get out of the way. Because they learned what they know. See, Yaffa, what's your sign? I don't think I ever asked you that. What is your sign? Are you an earth sign? You say you're a slow learner. I don't mean that earth signs are slow learner. They are. It categorizes them in the sense that they take their time. You know what I mean? You can't rush an earth sign. You can't rush them people. See? Now I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong. What's your sign? Or you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Oh, you a Libra? So am I. Wow. Yeah. That's kind of a trip. Yeah, I'm a Libra too. You know? Yep. I'm a slow learner. Mm-hmm. See, Creator says that he don't want a bunch of robots as sons and daughters, you know? He don't want a bunch of robots. He want people who can think, man. I love that too. That's the kingdom of light. I want to be around them brethren. I want to be around capable people, you know? People who you can hold a good discussion with. You know, they're real fast in the sense that they pick up on your vibration. You know what I mean? They pick, the kingdom of light, the Ethereans, man, the third resurrection, second resurrection, first resurrection, brethren. They're minded, they are more about trying to serve you. And then you're more minded about trying to serve them. See, that's the kingdom of light. Kingdom of light is a bunch of brethren with no hidden agendas. You know what I mean? The brother wants your wife, the sister want your husband, so they real nice to you. See, the kingdom of light, man, the kingdom of God, people that you love being around and they love you. They laugh at your corny jokes. Well, they might not. Some of them might, The king said, I have killed many men in my day. Do you say I have sinned? Capilla said, inquire of your creator. I'm not your judge, nor any man's. The king asked, if a man is killed and his soul lives, then the killing amounts to little. We put away the body, but the soul may come back and retaliate. Is it not so? Capilla said, yes, O king. You know what that's saying there? Y'all see that? Capilla said, you off somebody. The king here, he said, I done killed many people. I killed a lot of people. He said, I didn't do nothing. If the king asked, if I killed him and his soul come back, I didn't really do much damage. So what's the problem? We put away the body, but the soul may come back and retaliate. See, the king, he also reasons. He's saying, but wait a minute, well, if I kill the body and the soul lives, then, no harm, no foul. Right? But then it's like he said, hold on a second. But if I put away the body, he said, the soul may come back and retaliate. He said, is it not so, Capilla? Is it not so? Capilla said, yep. Yes, O king. So that's the same way in the world. These people, it ain't nothing to take somebody's life. Capilla said that spirit will be waiting for you. That soul can come back and retaliate. See, the world don't think like that. You know, they don't mind going to hell. They don't mind. They don't care. The Capella said, yeah, that spirit, it could come back. It could retaliate. It'd be sitting there waiting for you. And then the king reflected a while, then asked, my son, can the spirits of those we have slain catch us in heaven and injure us? Capella said, yep. Yep. Yep, O king. The king said, and they haven't been in heaven first, would have the advantage in battle. And if they go in gangs, meaning they get together and they have a leader, Beelzebub, they might do great hurt. He said, no, O Capella, I have a great secret for your philosophy, which is, so the king is going to confide something to Capella. He's going to say, hey, man, let me tell you a secret about us leaders. Let me tell you a secret about your kings and queens. He says, I have a great secret for your philosophy. He says, which is when death draws near. So he's telling you what leaders, what they go through now. You know, world leaders, evil world leaders who have died. Evil, wicked world leaders who have since died. See, evil and wicked world leaders. Stalin. Let's see who these people are. Now, you know, crazy or not, I don't know if Adolf Hitler should be on this list. A lot of people don't know about Hitler. All you know is what you've been indoctrinated with. I read, he put out his biography. I read it when I was 15, and I followed him. And he's been demonized. People don't know he's been demonized. I can't get into that. Stalin, Mao Zedong. And see, the king is getting ready to tell us what these people went through. King Leopold, Belgium, King Leopold. He was one of the most wicked, man. This dude right here. This dude was I don't want to even say it. Look at that. He was an Aries. An Aries, man. The things this dude did is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. These are wicked world leaders, man. And the king who's talking to Capella here, Pol Pot, he's telling us the things that ran through their mind before they faced their death. Pol Pot. Pol Pot, man. He's telling, we getting ready to read about what goes through their minds. Pol Pot. Pol Pot zodiac sign. Pol Pot. What was his zodiac sign? Pol Pot zodiac sign. You don't want to say. He was a Taurus. Isn't that something? Pol Pot. He was a Taurus, man. Yeah, they can be pretty ruthless leaders because that's a material sign and they value material. They can value materialism over people. So let me get back to the reading. Get back to the reading. So Capella, the king is getting ready to tell Capella a secret about these world leaders. He says, when death draws near, he says, we begin to shake in the soul as to what we have done all our lives. He says they begin to shake. He's talked about people in his position. Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah. Now you think about what you've done. See, now you want to think about it. Won't let me share the screen. Okay, there we go. See, the king, Yokovraina, he's saying to Capelia, he says, I have a great secret for your philosophy. Because Capelia just got finished saying that spirits, they can come back, they can retaliate. They could sit up there and wait for you and then retaliate when it's your turn to cross over. And then the king has said, I got something that agrees with that. Or I know of a good reason why I believe that is true. He said, I have a secret about what they be thinking. And then he says, when death draws near, he says, we begin to shake in the soul as to what we have done all our lives. See, now you're thinking about it, ain't you? He says, sometimes I think of saying to Deus, which means Lord God. I think it means Lord God. See, now you get all religious and you turn to your God, you know. He says, sometimes I think of saying to Lord God, Deus, here, I will pray to you. But then I remember I have no merchandise that he would accept. He said, we talk a good game. I'm translating. Us leaders, we talk a good game when we're in health and prosperity. But when it comes to death, man, we ain't nothing but a blowing leaf. We just a leaf in the wind, man. You know that? He says, how weak in adversity and in death. He said, do you think prayers will make my case stand better in heaven? Capelia said, I'm not a master in heaven, or if I were, my love for you would shield you from all darkness. The king said, the priest says, if I pay him money, he can intercede with Lord God, Deus, and so secure me a high seat in heaven. I think he falsifies, for Deus owes him nothing. Two things I've found, even with my little wisdom, both the caterer, that's another word for politician, both the cater to the king and the cater to Lord God, Deus, they talk a lot. They make great pretenses. That word cater, it could be politician too. If you look over here, a cater to the king is what we call a politician. A cater to Deus is a priest. Okay, so there's a religious and there's a carnal meaning. He says both the cater, the politician to the king, and the priest to the Lord God, they make great pretenses. They talk a lot, but actually do little regarding their promises. These two men, oh my son, beware of them. So Yokovreda is telling Capelia, these are two of the worst people on earth, the king and the politician. The king and the politician, man. The king said, I owe my greatness to this discretion more to wisdom. He said, because he knew this, it prospered him. He knew about politicians and priests. He said, they're at the bottom of all the wars and evils in the world. They can deceive even the gods, I'm told. He says, when you're a king, Capelia, apply your wisdom to this matter. Do not spare them. They are the curse of the world. I regret that I did not slay more than my conscience pricks me for this. He regretting he didn't kill more politicians and false and priests. He says he regretted Yoga Vrena. He's saying, I wish I'd have killed more of them. Politicians and priests. He said, they are at the bottom of the wars and evils in this world. They can deceive even the gods, I'm told. When you're a king, Capelli, apply your wisdom to this matter. Do not spare them. They are the curse of the world. I regret that I did not slay more of them. My conscience pricks me for this. Capelli said, since man's conscience is only part of the man, might it not err? Is the conscience not dependent on other things for wisdom? And after all, if we've done that which seemed the highest best thing at that time, have we not fulfilled the law? So he's correcting his thinking into the faithless worldview. He's saying, he's King said it bothered his conscience. He hadn't killed more of these men. But Capelli is basically saying, but that was a wise thing that you did not, because you don't know the whole story. It's better to know the whole story first. The king said, it would seem so. Conscience must depend for its errors or its justice on the education it has received. But is it possible that the conscience is a disease in the heart? To regret over having not done a thing, to regret over having done a thing, these are irreparable complaints. Whoever can say beforehand and yet not err is wise indeed. I find that no man brought himself into the world, nor can he live except for a short period at most. When we are young, we dislike to die, but at my great age, I desire not to live. Evidently, he who created us has more mastery over us than we have over ourselves. Capella said, that is true at best. Man has no more than half mastery of himself. Yogavrena interrupted, saying, I interrupt you, my son, because my time is short. I would ask you, what is the greatest consolation to a dying man? Capella said, there are two consolations that are great to a dying man. One is to know that he has left no heirs after him. How do you like that? No children. And the other is that he leaves after him a noble son, a Thetis. The king said, you are wise, my son. I asked the priest in the oracle house the same thing, and he said, for a dying man to have faith, that his soul will enter paradise. So I said to him, no honest man can have such faith, for such a fate would be cheating heaven with one's sins. If I were the creator, I would break the necks of half the world. Still, it may please a foolish dying man to tell him such a tale regarding his soul. You alone, my son, have told me the greatest consolation to a dying man. My slaves may have faith that they will be kings, but they will wake up in their folly. A man may have faith that his soul will enter paradise, and he may wake up and find it was a mistake. Faith without a guarantee is folly. Capella said, a man of his own knowledge knows a thing, a man of his own knowledge knows a thing. A man who of his own knowledge knows a thing has the greatest of all wisdom. To be as you are, a philosopher in time of death, is evidence of a great soul. Few have attained to this. In other words, you see that you're at death's door and you start thinking, Capella, he honors that. If you see, you start thinking, man, Capella, he says that's evidence of a great soul. You see, now you start thinking, to be as you are, a philosopher in the time of death is evidence of a great soul. Capella said that's a mark of that's a good mark. You can pass that wisdom on to others now. He said, few have attained to this. The king said, compared to you, I am nothing as to wisdom. You are a mystery to me. Your mother, whom the doctors slew, put her out of her misery from long sickness. He said, your mother, whom the doctors slew to put her out of her misery from long sickness, was not wise. Now, here's a bombshell right here coming to the king from Coppelia. And says, and as to myself, I'm only great, not wise. I can make men fear me, but you know the secret of love, which is a great thing. Your name, O Coppelia, will be honored long after mine is forgotten, even though I am the greatest king in all the world, O Coppelia, my most wonderful son. Coppelia said, because you gave me great learning and a father's kingly care, why should I not be an honor to you, O king? When you are in heaven and can look upon me, I hope you may not lose your hope for me. The king said, it does not seem wise to me that angels should see too closely their mortal kin, or else in truth they would never rise up to higher heavens. The seers say heaven and angels are around us all the time. I think this is a lie. Otherwise, it would be more hell than heaven to them. After the king rested a while, he said, I've been surmising what to say to you, for I feel the blood in my veins is nearly stopped. And this makes me think more than ever that a man at best is only a gaming ball for the gods to play with. Who knows, perhaps even now they laugh up their sleeves as to how they have used me for some hellish game. He says, oh, if only man had some standpoint to judge things by. If only he had a measuring and a foundation to stand upon. I have searched the spirits of the dead and the gods of the oracles, and they are lies, lies, lies. Coppelia said, the small spark of light within our souls is right at the start. And if it is rightly cultivated, it will grow brighter and clearer every day. For is it not in the nature of all things to grow by culture? See, that's what we're being taught now with the soul confirmations. That's watering your soul. That's cultivating it. We're cultivating our soul. And it will grow brighter and brighter and clearer each day. We just have to walk by faith. The king said, to rightly cultivate, there is the matter, O my son. The king is saying, how do you do it? He said, to settle that point, the world has been washed over with man's blood rightly. Who knows that word? Oh, if only my enemies were mistaken and that I was clear in perceiving what is right. So his question is, how do you cultivate the soul? Everybody says this, one says that. They go to war, spill each other's blood. Nobody's right. How do you cultivate that soul? What do you do? It says, again, he rested a while. And when he said, I had hoped that when death came on, I would get glimpses of what is in store for me. But even death is silent, dark, and deceiving. My members weakened evenly. This shows I was born from good blood. Had you not been my son, now here's the real shock coming to the king. Had you not been my son, I would rejoice more than I do. If he had not had a heir to the throne. For then I would know that my family line had run out, so that I would have ascended to higher heavens. He wouldn't be worried about anyone on earth. But since he thinks Coppelia is his son, he's saying he's not going to be as happy as he would if he had not had a son, because he's going to be tied to the earth. So he says, now I may be obliged to dwell on the earth for a long season, because he's thinking Coppelia is his son. He says, as I understand myself now, even with all your wisdom and your love, I would rather you had been some other man's son. Then I could die easier and not care so much about leaving you. I have no other kin. Coppelia said, O king, you have torn my heart in two. In truth, I am not your son. When your wife lay in the dark chamber, the angels of heaven stole me and brought me there. The angels of heaven stole me and brought me there. So this is like the story of Moses. You know, he was found in the reeds. They took him to the king's house, and a mother was provided for him. It says, she who nursed me was my mother, and her husband was my father. I'm a Brahmin, a Zarathustrian blood, a Fatis. The king said, is this true? It cannot be. Go call your nurse. Coppelia called in the nurse, and the king said to her, before I doom you to death, I command you to answer. Is this your son? And is your husband his father? She answered him, I am sworn to Jehovah and cannot answer you. Therefore sentence me, for I have carried a great load for many years. Behold, an angel of heaven appears. Jehovah's angel appeared before the king. They all saw the angel, who said, Copelia is not your son, O king, and yet no sin has been committed. And at that, the angel vanished. The king said, if this was not a counterfeit made by the gods, then it was my angel wife. So Copelia, must our love end here? The earth is going fast from me now. Copelia said, our love will never die. For the good you have done for the Zarathustra, the Great Spirit will provide for you a home suited to your great soul. If you had any faults, you have more than balanced them. Look at the mercy and grace of the Creator for all of you, brethren, too. Mercy and grace, man. And this is a man who said that he had killed a lot of men, the king, and he had balanced it out by doing good to other brethren. The king beckoned for Copelia and the nurse to come to him, and then he said feebly, it seems to me I hear the gods laughing. Keep up the joke. My brother's oldest son knows nothing of it. A kingdom is but a farce. Hold me up, Copelia. I would have my eyes feast on the sky only after having seen your sweet face. Copelia lifted him up, and the king said to the nurse, I bless you. You brought forth a good prop. Oh, Aiden, sky, Aiden, all is something, all is nothing. And the breath went out of him, and he was dead. And that will conclude the reading of the Word Ark Bond, chapter 10, the story of Yokovrena and Copelia. And the summary being that this man confessing, he tells us a few things. He tells us about inquiring into heavenly things. He learns that retribution, there is a retribution in the spiritual. He learns that it's never a righteous thing to act on the conscious. Dave, brother. All right. All right, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So Yokovrena, he's a good picture. He's a good picture of the leaders of the world. He said he told Copelia a secret that these people that you see in the world, and they make decisions and it causes the death of many people, they don't know what they're doing. He said, but when that time comes, man, he said they start thinking. They start considering what they have done. And that's good for the living to know that, man. You know, it's good for the living to know that. So we learned a lot through the example of Copelia dealing with this king. He spared himself a great lot of trouble by doing right by the faithists, making a law, enacting a law, remember? Copelia, he enacted it, and then he gave up the throne. Copelia said that he couldn't enact the law himself because he was bound to his he called it religion, meaning that the same law that applied to the faithists, he was going to apply it to everybody, and he knew that would be infringing on the rights of other people. So we learned a lot from the example Yokovrena and Copelia in this reading. Creator, he shows his mercy, shows his grace, he shows consequences. There are consequences, man, you know. And so Creator, he you know, showed us, helping us to see this reality from a spiritual standpoint. You know, beautiful story here. All right, so time for the soul confirmation and then close the video. So let's go back to the soul confirmations. Go back to the soul confirmations and close the video. And, so thank you, Creator, for the reading and the story of Copelia and Yokovrena, and the lesson you showed us about some of the things that go on in the spiritual and how we should consider the wisdom of Capelia, the wisdom that he shared with us about. One of the things is to always refrain from the bloodshed, the violence of men, and to be able to speak the truth, even though it could be unpleasant, because Capelia told the king that there are spirits of retribution in the spiritual. That must have been a very hard thing to say. Oh, Creator, thank you. We're going to do the soul confirmations now, and then according to your will, pick it up again tomorrow. So I pray that you will empower us with these soul confirmations, that we can apply these things. They can be applied to our mind, body, and soul now and forever. Pray for the approach of Cosmic Day, that we can be prepared, be ready, so that we can go about in power, great power and wisdom, and represent the kingdom of life on the earth. We look forward to it. And I pray, Creator, that you cover us with wisdom, knowledge, love, peace, blessing, and that you honor our reciting of the soul confirmations, that you might bless these soul confirmations and infuse them in our soul. All right, brethren, we're going to start at all the forces of my being, and then we're going to read all the forces of my being, and the next one, the intelligence of my soul, and then we're going to close the video. All right, so 3 times together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All the forces of my being are becoming responsive to the living creative will of my soul. The intelligence of my soul rules every organ in my body. One more time, or again, 1, 2, 3. All the forces of my being are becoming responsive to the living creative will of my soul. The intelligence of my soul rules every organ in my body. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All the forces of my being are becoming responsive to the living creative will of my soul. The intelligence of my soul rules every organ in my body. And that's it for today. The soul confirmation, brothers. So let's accept it. Let's receive it by faith, that these things have now been added to our spirit soul, our spirit body, both now and forever. Let us confirm, or let us receive by faith, that the Creator is now added these things. As we go on and keep trying to make ourselves in the spirit, let's receive it by faith. So, brethren, that's the best I can do for today. I thank you for joining me, your fellowship, brethren. And Friday, pick it up again. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I pray the Creator, he covers us all with especially the knowledge of Cosmic Day, that some brother somewhere in the world or someone will have been given some wisdom, so that we can look forward to that. That's power from on high. That's the end of the kingdom of man and the beginning of the kingdom of light, where the spiritual power, the earthly intelligence, is no match whatsoever for the spiritual intelligence, no match whatsoever. And if the earthly power be glorious, then how much more the spiritual. So, brethren, thank you for joining me. You really bless my soul. I can't wait to see you, brethren, again Friday. And until I see you again, peace be unto you. Shalom.